Okay, it's recording. Ready?
I know it told me. It said recording in progress.
Welcome to the BoB podcast. We are back for the first time since the season ended, and when trading opened, that was a day that I think that I lasted a podcast. So it's been a while, and we're back, and we have a good amount of stuff to cover in this podcast. My brother joins me to cover all the trades that have happened so far. So it should be a lot of good conversation. And then there's also we are gonna do a BOB mock draft after rounds 1, 2, and 3 because now we know where landing spots are. So doing a mock here is gonna be fun. Should be pretty interesting. This draft is actually wild. It could go in any direction. And yeah, I mean I'll touch on it more when we start talking about the draft. But for starters, I just wanted to talk about the trades. So we could go in order of the
Okay.
trades.
We talked so much about this one, but we
Well,
can.
yeah, I mean, this is actually the only trade that I talked about in my last podcast because
uh,
it happened right away, and I think I did the podcast the day after trading opened. Um, do we want to talk about mine and Mark's
Yeah,
trade?
we can talk about it, but it's been talked about so much in the chat, and there's no way to know, of course, what's gonna happen because it's a pretty fair trade. I mean,
Yeah,
like, um, a lot has changed since the trade first happened. Like, Stephon Diggs is there now,
yeah,
and um, but like for example, like last night, the Bucks didn't take another running back, and they definitely could have.
yeah.
So that also happened. So that's why I'm saying
Good
like we're not
season.
going to. And at the same time, also Jefferson got JJ. I don't know if that was really expected at the time, too.
No, no, I don't
And
think it was.
and you didn't even like JJ at the time either. Um,
No.
so just in the last like 3 months, like
Wait,
so
wait.
much
I
has
just want to say
happened.
what the trade was, just
Okay, go
just to
ahead.
clarify before we keep
I
talking
think
about.
we all know, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like, some other people on YouTube recently that are not in the league been watching it. Like,
like
we got
Gav, like
we got like
Gav, yeah,
yeah, we got like 70 views on one video. So
yeah.
uh so it was I got the 102 from Mark, and then I also got Rashad White, Tank Dell, and Michael Mayer, and I sent him Justin Jefferson and the 202. And another thing that has changed since this trade has happened,
Mayor.
Brock Bowers landed on the Raiders with Michael Mayer. So, I mean, I'm still glad I got Michael Mayer, but it's like at the same time, like I don't think he's gonna be what I thought he was gonna be. At least right away, tight ends have long careers. I think he's only 22 or 23. So once one of them leaves, I think they're both gonna be really good tight ends. But at this
Yeah,
point,
I
it
mean,
looks like I'm gonna have to wait for him to be good. But I'm glad because I got Njoku. We'll talk
yeah,
about that trade in a little bit. But
I mean with Mayor, like I don't think anyone saw that coming. Even the Raiders front office, I think it was like um when they realized like he was still there and that they were on the clock, they were like, "Oh, okay, like we have to take him.
you gotta
Like we
get
don't
the
have a
best tight
choice.
end. I mean, they just had to get the best player. I
Best
should
player
say.
available." And I don't think it's anything like that. They don't like trust Mayer, but like when a tight end who's like practically a receiver and one of the best like college receivers,
Yeah.
basically in the year, like when he's there,
Yeah,
like
I mean, some people argue he's the best player in the draft. While I don't agree with that, I mean, he's just that good. And him and Mayer are very different. Like Mayer could just block more. He's a really good blocker.
yeah.
So
Unfortunately, there's no blocking points in fantasy, so.
no, yeah, exactly. So
But
that
like
hurts things a little bit. But
I think a lot of people were hoping that Mayer had like a McBride type of second year. I think it was totally possible.
yeah,
Now, like obviously it won't be like that because obviously he can't get like those targets and he won't.
no, he's not gonna get targets like that at all. I think honestly, his targets might be similar to his rookie year now.
Yeah, probably. But tight ends have long careers and
Exactly.
um like if he goes somewhere else, like it's not like he's not good, so
No, yeah, I think
we'll
him,
see.
him and Bowers are both gonna be good NFL tight ends. I think.
You'll have to hold on to him for this whole time, so we see.
I guess so. Like I can't. I traded for him, so I can't just drop him.
Good thing
No,
we had those. How many more roster spaces do we have?
we don't have any more roster space.
What we're going to, but
I mean,
that's
hope.
for July. What? July, June 29th.
Yep, June 29th is the
Yeah,
plan.
so
BoB draft day.
we'll get a few more on that day.
Yep, gotta win that. But
But I guess about the trade.
we just
Uh,
don't know. But I think it'll be good for both sides.
there's no way to know. I mean, in the past, like what? It's been 3 months since the trade. So much has happened. Like you
Yeah,
can't even you can't know.
no,
Like it's impossible to know. Which means that it's just a good trade, I think. We'll have to see how it works.
yeah. All right. So the next trade is probably the most irrelevant trade in
No,
recent
we're not talking.
history.
We shouldn't even talk about
We
it.
shouldn't even talk about it, but we just have to touch on it real quick. The company Norm traded Daniel Jones to Megan the Stallion, which is Alex's team, of course, for Mr. Unlimited Russell Wilson. So Alex has Daniel Jones now. Norm has Russell Wilson. And honestly, I think this trade is the most pointless trade in history.
I don't know
Not just because
because
the quarterbacks aren't that good, but also I think they're both taking quarterbacks in this draft coming up.
yeah,
I think they're both going to get dropped by them.
I was just gonna say that I don't think they keep either of them, especially Alex. He's got like 7 picks in the draft and at least one IR spot filled. So
Yeah.
I don't know how he keeps that many players, but
I mean, I
uh,
think he definitely takes a quarterback at some point, and he has Jordan Love. I mean, he has so many
but
picks, he's just not going to want to keep dimes.
yeah, I will say one. I think the Salat Thanksgiving trade was more pointless. I can't even tell you who the Bucks tight end was, and I know players like the back
Yeah.
of my hand. I forgot who it was. It was him for AJ Dillon,
Yeah.
who's like in China now. So,
Yeah.
um,
That, oh, Kate Auden. Kate Auden is the
Kate
third.
Auden,
Yeah.
yeah. See, so and two, but this shows like that was like the most pointless, smallest trade. And for both of those players, I guess maybe because they're quarterbacks too, like so much has changed actually. Like now Dimes has neighbors,
Yeah.
and now and I don't think Russ was in Pittsburgh yet at the time of the trade.
No, he wasn't.
And like that changes a lot too. So
Yeah.
just shows like even in the smallest trade in the offseason, so much can change before
Yeah.
the season starts. So I guess that's good at least, but I don't see how Alex holds on to Dimes
Nah, yeah, I don't
after
think
the
so
trade.
either.
And I mean, I don't blame him, but I don't think he would have held on to Russ either. So
Uh,
um I'll
I mean,
I'll be shocked if Norm holds on to
the
Russ, but
trades
we'll
that
see.
have happened, like, have all been impacted, like, somehow this off season.
Yeah,
Like, this next one
yeah.
coming up. So, look, Roast Beast sent running back Isaiah Pacheco and 2024 209 to Megan the Stallion for Kyron Williams. And
Yeah.
I thought this was a
And
great trade for Chris because Kyron was awesome last year. And Chris really needs running back help. And I thought Kyron being
yeah.
a huge part of his team being an RB1, like high end RB1, if he played like he did last year. But Rams drafted Blake Corum last night.
That was crazy. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I don't think the Rams thought that was gonna happen either. Like he fell like to them. So
I think he just fell to
but
them
like,
and he fits their system so well because him and Kyron are so similar.
yeah. And wasn't Kyron like having like some fumble problems too and
He
everything? And
was at
Sean
some
McVay was
point
happy
during the
about it.
season.
And
Yeah.
so maybe like some competition making better. Like I don't think Kyron's bad now. Like I
No.
saw like people were saying like, oh, rest in peace, Kyron. He's still gonna probably be like a
Look,
starter for
it's not gonna
sure.
be rest in peace Kyron, but they're definitely gonna split a lot because they could both play the same role.
Yeah.
It might be like a hot hand kind of thing. Because Blake, like I'm not saying Kyron's bad or anything, especially after the year he just had last year, but I could totally see Blake Corum being better. Like if we're
Yeah, it's
talking
possible.
if we're basing it off
As a
prospect
prospect.
wise, Blake Corum was a better prospect than Kyron coming into the league.
Yeah, definitely. And
So
like,
he's faster
I
also.
don't know. This is why I said after last year, trading for a running back, especially like before the draft, is like really risky.
Yeah, because
Like,
backs just get drafted and
in
replaced.
the NFL draft, like they can just draft someone in the second or third round, and then that's like that really hurts. Like, let's say if like someone even traded for like Kenneth Walker, like he's still like great, but you probably would have paid like top five dynasty running back price for Kenneth Walker last year,
Yeah, and then
and
Charbonnet.
Charbonnet in there. And
Yep.
like I don't think
Actually,
Charbonnet is
pretty
gonna.
similar to the Kyron um, Blake situation, but Kenneth Walker clears Charbonnet.
Yeah, and Sharp, but I mean
Charbonnet
Charbonnet.
was a top back coming in though in his class.
I mean it was Bijan Gibbs and Charbonnet.
Yeah,
Like I was at the 106 at the time, and I was like thinking I was gonna take Charbonnet there.
yeah,
So, and he was taken in the second round. Like that's good draft capital. So, like
yeah.
you never know what's gonna happen with a running back. It can pay off. Like if you do a trade, like it paid off for Alex really because he got Pacheco and not Kyron.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, Chris said it himself. I don't like to
Between
say
the
like
tackles,
what?
Charbonnet is good between the tackles.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. Yes, he has said that before himself. But I'm talking about the trade. I don't like to say too quickly like who won or who lost. That's why I haven't said it so far.
Yeah.
Just said it last night. He thinks that he lost the trade already because of this move, and he could have. I mean,
Wait, Chris said it.
yeah, Chris said that Pacheco's better now.
Uh,
So, I mean, we'll have to see,
I
but
mean,
he does have, like more
he could say
opportunity.
that, and then the Chiefs could just go draft another running back next year.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. Like, it's not just this year, but Alex also got that pick. I don't know, why I'm taking there, but he'll make some value out of it. So I don't know, but yeah, that trade turned out
I
pretty
mean, he
interesting.
could still definitely get someone a good player at the 209 for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
There's gonna be
yeah,
value there. All right, so next trade, we could guard Mike, GM Steven, sent Derrick Henry and Curtis Samuel to me, AFC Richmond, for Travis Kelsey. I mean, obviously, I did this trade because I think I won it, so I want to hear your input on the trade.
yeah. I wasn't really sure about the time. I mean, it made a lot of sense about Steve getting Kelsey, which I think is an even better move now because um
Bowers is on the Raiders, so
yeah, which I will talk about more later. I don't think it's terrible, but like for Steve, I thought that was like the clear answer until he got Kelsey, and I was like, oh, okay, like he doesn't have to like try to like trade a valuable piece to move up to
yeah, I
get
thought
Bauer.
Steven was
Like,
gonna trade into like maybe like Dom's pick at the 5 and try to get
yeah,
Bowers,
still possible.
which is why I gave him Kelsey because I was thinking about drafting Bowers at the 6,
Yeah,
but
but
I'm not anymore. I'm definitely not drafting Bowers anymore.
smoke, smoke.
It's not smoke. I just I can't take him. I have Mayer also. That like me having Mayer just makes it make no sense for me, honestly.
You have Mayer's handcuff, and yes, I meant Mayer's handcuff, not Bowers.
Yeah,
Um, well, yeah, so like it made sense for Steve. Like that was obviously the one hole in like his roster because like his roster has a lot of like depth, I think,
yeah,
and like
running back and receiver, and then he
um
has Mahomes.
he's pretty filled.
Yeah,
So the tight end will take the clear hole, especially since Darren Waller is retiring. So
I
uh,
I don't disagree. I think Darren Waller is retiring, and I think Steven's
so
too, which is why he did that.
like that made perfect sense for Steven, I guess.
Yeah,
And I guess he didn't need Henry, like he has Jacobs. And who else does he have?
Joe Mixon. He has
Yeah, who's on the
Jacobs,
Texans
Mixon.
now?
He has Nick Chubb
He
coming
has
back from
Chubb.
injury.
I mean, Chubb when he comes back, people aren't sure how it'll be, but he's Nick Chubb. Um,
Yeah,
so that makes sense for Steve. And then for you, especially since you lost Ramondre now, um, I think it makes sense to let you do that move to lose Ramondre.
yeah.
But I mean, like that was good for you because you needed the running back, especially not knowing how the Patriots would be this year. I mean, I still think
Because I don't
Ramondre's
trust the
gonna be good.
Patriots, and
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry. I traded for him because I could see him having like another prime till he's like 33 on the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens run game has been like good with Gus Edwards
Gus
and
Edwards
Keaton
had I
Mitchell.
think double-digit touchdowns last year
Yeah,
on the Ravens.
and people can say all they want about Lamar taking touchdowns because he runs, but
They
I don't
get
think
down
he.
to the goal line all the time. They get
Yeah,
so, I don't
like the
know
fact
why,
that
but they get so many like goal line carries down there.
yeah, they do. So it's not like Hurts in the tush push, and because Lamar is so good and because he runs, he gets them to the goal line.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't really worry about that. I think Derrick Henry is gonna be. I think he can be better than he was in Tennessee on the
yeah. I
Ravens.
mean, it's a easier situation for him for sure.
Yeah. So and then Curtis Samuel. I mean, I guess that's kind of just like a throw in for Steve.
It's a throw-in, but like I can see Curtis Samuel being a solid wide receiver too. There, Josh Allen makes everyone else better. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's no one to throw to. Like, sure, I think Keon being there is pretty cool. And
Keon.
Shakir was doing well towards the end of last season, and they have Kincaid, but I don't think Keon comes in right away and he's like the guy. Like, I think it's gonna take some time, and
Yeah,
then,
I do have faith
like
in him though. I think he's good. I think he's
yeah,
good.
same. And then it's just Kincaid and Shakir and Curtis Samuel. So, like, Curtis Samuel had even like some decent weeks at the start of last year. No, I think he was like starting for
Yeah,
Meg, and he wasn't terrible.
no,
What that was on Washington.
yeah, on Washington with Terry Dotson there and Sam Howell being trash.
Yeah, so I trust like the Bills' offense more, and I'm not saying it's going to be like like a starting wide receiver
Oh,
to
but
fantasy,
like
but
I
like
have wide receiver depth anyway. But like if I need to plug him in at like flex one week, I will. Like,
yeah, I don't think that's like I know it's Curtis Samuel and like we clown him, but
oh,
like putting him at like your flex, like your wide receiver four on like a week when like there's buys, like people are hurt. I
I'll
don't think it'll
take
be
that.
terrible.
I'll take it.
Yeah, but we'll see.
But all right, on to the next trade. We got two more trades, and then we're gonna get into the
Ah,
mock draft.
okay.
So the next trade was the farm GM Jack
Yeah.
sending running back Saquon Barkley, the 2024 109, and Michael Pittman to the Straw Hats Mark for Zay Flowers, the 2024 104, and the Straw Hats 2025 first rounder as well. It's a big trade. I mean, what do you think? I
I'll-
I think this trade is good for both teams, but Jack already did give away the 104 to me.
That's what I was gonna say. It would have made some more sense to me, I think, in hindsight, if Jack kept the 104 and like he had an idea of what he was gonna do there. But I think he just got it to move for more value.
Yeah, the
Like
thing is like
I think he just
so
pulled a Steve where he was like, oh, I can get this pick and sell to someone else who likes picks
I'm just
and
gonna
get
say the next trade because it kind of involves it.
yeah.
I the right after that, um, I gave Jack Tank Dell and Ramondre, and he gave me that 104 that he got in the trade with Mark and
Hmm.
David Njoku.
Yeah.
I mean, that it all makes sense for Jack if Tank Dell is better than who I get at the 104, and if he thinks Tank Dell is better than who I'm getting at the 104, like which we know it's going to be Brian Thomas Jr. because I talked about him in the chat. If Tank Dell is better than Brian Thomas Jr. and he thinks that, then the trade makes sense. I don't know.
I think you drafted at the 104 hoping that who you get is as good as Tank Dell, his rookie
Yeah,
year. So yeah, that makes sense. I
and
mean,
he got Ramondre out of it, and he really needed running back depth after
yeah,
trading away
thinking more about the
Saquon.
trade, we clowned him a lot for it, but like, I mean, it was just because he gave away the 104 so suddenly, and he got more depth, which was his biggest problem, I think. So that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Uh, but like, as for the trade with Mark,
his
like,
depth is a lot better now compared to the start of the season.
I thought Pittman, and I said this in the podcast with Chris, and he broke on me. I thought Pittman was like really good last year,
Yeah,
and he didn't even have his quarterback. Like he had
no.
Gardner Minshew,
Mm-hmm.
who, if you watch the Colts play, there were so many times I was like, Gardner Minshew, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so frustrating.
And
And
Pittman was
Pittman,
still
still-
getting like the most casual, like 15, 16 points, like no problem.
yeah, and now like adding a- um Adonai Mitchell, I
Yeah,
think that only helps him because
it
he's gonna do
opens up the
what
offense more.
Alex Pierce was supposed to do, but better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like you got Pittman, AD Mitchell, and Downs.
Downs
Downs look
and
pretty.
JT in the backfield.
Yeah, I mean that offense is looking nice. I mean they
Yeah.
just need Richardson to stay healthy, and they could be special. They're an
Yeah.
exciting team.
And like I like Pittman a lot, even though I used to hate on him. But that was just because Chris had him. But
Yeah,
and
now
then
some players you
like
just gotta hate on them just because certain people own them, you know.
like it, getting yeah. Getting Saquon too, I think was like kind of exactly what Mark needed. Like you can't start the season like hoping you either draft a running back that you have to throw in right away,
Mhm.
or you have to start Roshan Johnson. Um,
Yeah.
so like obviously I was gonna trade for someone, and like Saquon was like a top back last year. Now he's with Philly. So even though Jalen Hurts will be taking his touchdowns with tush push, um, it's still Saquon, like with a really good line. Like I
Yeah,
know
I
you
mean,
see it, but
I hate him. I like. I just hope it doesn't pan out at all. At
yeah.
all. I hope he's trash there.
And I didn't talk about this, but um,
Wait, hold on. How much better do you think it makes the Straw Hats them getting Saquon Barkley
I mean, it was like in my
and
mind
Pittman
like
and
the
Pittman?
biggest hole because if Kenneth Walker has some of the weeks that he had last year where like he wasn't doing anything, right? That happened, or am I just being
Yeah,
dumb?
no, he either gets like kind of like how Nick Chubb was, but like not as good. Like he either get you 8 or he'll get you
Yeah.
like 20.
Yeah. Like if that's happening and your other back is either Roshan Johnson or a rookie you take in the first or second, which where Mark was in the draft. I don't know if you take a rookie at the 104.
Mm-hmm.
I mean a running back at the 104. But if your only other option is Roshan Johnson, to start at your your RB2, then like you need to get someone. So like it made sense. Like I think that helps him a lot to have
I
Saquon.
think the trade was really
I
good for Mark,
think
especially
that's his
adding
RB1 this year. That's just me.
Pittman also.
Pittman was a really good ad. But
Yeah, I feel like he Pittman was trash though like a few months ago.
yeah, he literally said when Jack was talking about Pittman that like he's trash. So
Yeah, he
uh,
said that he straight up said I'd rather have Pittman over Zay Flowers.
no,
And
yeah, he
I'd rather have Zay
said over
Flowers
Pittman.
over Pittman.
Yeah,
And he traded.
yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe Flock had like put out like some new video about like Pittman being better than Zay.
Yeah, and then Marco's like, gotta trade for him.
But yeah, I mean, and like at the 109, not a bad pick at all. Especially when I was looking at the mock, like there's definitely a chance of who you're getting at the 109 can be just as good as who you're getting at like the 106 if you're taking like a receiver there or something.
Yeah, it
Like,
depends who goes there. I think Mark drafts this guy at the 109 though, if you know who I'm talking about. But we'll get to it.
yeah.
Well, I mean, we're gonna start it right now. So
Wait, one thing I wanted to say last.
okay,
I think people are sometimes worried too much about like not winning a trade and being clowned for it. And you have to respect Jack because Jack's been saying it since he was watching him play in college.
college, yeah, that he was
He
gonna get
got
there.
Zay. Like he's probably not gonna watch this, but like props to him. Like
Yeah,
went
seriously.
out and he got his guy. Like that's pretty cool, and he's gonna have him now, like forever. Like I mean, if you want to,
That's what dynasty football should be about. And I realized that more recently. That's why I kind
just
of went
going
into
to getting your
rebuilding and
guys.
got guys that I really like. You
Yeah,
gotta just I
like
feel like
you do
part
the
of the
same thing.
process, you gotta just rock with the guys you really like and go out and get them.
You lost Jefferson, and now you got the Giants wide receiver one. Like that's sick for you. Like sometimes you just got to go get your guys, and it's like I know we clown Jack for trades, but like he got Zay finally after talking about it for like a year and a half now.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty cool.
And now he's on the farm forever.
Yep. All right.
So you want all right, so we're gonna start off the BoB mock draft. This is the first and maybe only mock draft we'll be doing before the draft. Draft now is in maybe like 50 something days from now.
I can check real quick.
63 days away from BoB draft day. So this is the first mock that we're doing after rounds 1, 2, and 3.
That
We got the
means
landing spots everyone now.
Yeah, that means, and I'm speaking directly to Mike here. If that's 63 days away, and there's something else very exciting coming up
What, Frisbee
56
Wednesday
days away.
opener?
No, 56 days away. And just Mike, I think, will know what I'm talking about. So hopefully he watches this. Um, yeah, 63. Very exciting.
Yeah. All right. So the way me and Brandon are gonna do this, we're each just gonna give our prediction for each pick and go back and forth, and that'll do it. I think we know what's gonna happen the first four picks, but we'll just do it anyway. Should I go first for
Yeah,
each pick, or do you want to go first?
you can go.
Okay. So with the 101 this year, I think the banana stand. Well, actually, I know the banana stand is taking Cardinals wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. for a fact. There's no way it doesn't happen. And I said there's no way it doesn't happen because it's not going to be like a thing with JSN last year. I don't think any trade could even change this outcome. No one's going to offer Brandon enough for him to give away Marvin Harrison Jr. It's just not happening.
Every player has a price, but Marv's, I don't think you can give me enough,
No, that's what I'm saying.
no matter
You can't.
what.
You can't.
So I'll listen. I'll sit on the clock for 5 minutes like the Bears did, but I'm gonna take it in. Gonna be having the same jersey on that I have on now.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I mean, there's nothing to it. I mean, I think the chat knows well enough that
Yeah,
uh he is he is my guy. So yeah, I'm
he's
gonna pick
definitely
him.
gonna be on the banana stand.
That's exactly where I wanted him to.
Hmm.
Not on the banana stand. I mean, yes, on the bananas, but the Cardinals, I mean.
Yeah,
Like I told you, as much as I wanted him to be with Herbert, I thought the Cardinals was a better spot. Like exactly where I wanted him. I'm pretty excited to pick him. It's gonna be a
yeah,
great day.
it is the perfect spot, I think.
Yep.
So moving on to the 102. Whoa,
Whoa. Can you extend it?
I can't.
Okay, you're just gonna have to split up the zooms.
It says your free meeting will end in 10 minutes. Need more time? Contact your administrator to upgrade to a plan with unlimited meetings.
Why do you have is this your TCNJ email?
Yeah,
Why do you have a limited thing? Does Zoom have memberships now?
I
Okay,
guess.
well,
Wait, we have 10 minutes. We could just zoom through it. You want to
okay.
just zoom through it?
Zoom through it. Nice. Um,
We're gonna have to. All right, ready?
yeah,
So the 102, I have AFC Richmond, me. I mean, we know who I'm taking. I'm taking Malik Neighbors,
neighbors.
Giants.
Yep, Malik neighbors. Okay, wanna
Okay.
go to 20?
3, I have you taking Rome.
I'm taking roll. There's not much to it. He's my
Yep.
guy. I
Me and
love it.
Brandon are just going back and forth these first four picks. We're just gonna keep
Yeah.
walking up and going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then the 104, who do you think?
I mean, unless you're throwing smoke, you're taking Brian Thomas Jr.
Yes.
Um,
This is where the draft really starts at the 105. I
yeah,
mean,
I
it
think
determines everything in the draft.
it determines the whole rest of the draft. Like I had two different drafts here, stemming from what Dom does at the 105, and I hate that Dom has much power, but yeah,
Yeah, he has a lot of power on the draft. All right, so I think he takes Jonathan Brooks, Panthers running back. You just look at his team, and like I just think he really needs a running back. After Aaron Jones, Pollard, and Brian
yeah.
Robinson, he needs another guy.
I thought so too at first, and I changed it because I told you last night I was looking at Dom's roster. I was like, yeah, he probably does need a running back, and I know he's been trying to trade for one, Pacheco, and but like I don't know because I don't think Jonathan Brooks is like I think he's great, but what he's coming off like the
ACL.
ACL tear, and like so it's gonna be some time before like I think he starts doing stuff. Like he's gonna like they traded up for him. He's like he's their guy. But if he was on the Cowboys, I'd say for sure Dom's taking him at the 105. It's
Mm-hmm.
also the Panthers. I think it's a lot less sure um of how he's gonna be at the 105. Like that's a pretty big spot.
Yeah.
So and I don't think all the time in Dynasty you have to like draft for need. Like I think sometimes you just got to take the best guy there
Mm,
because they're rookies and you don't know how they're going to be. Sometimes like you just got to take who you think is going to be the best,
yeah.
regardless of what you need.
Hmm.
So I think, and I know you will disagree, but I think Xavier Worthy to the Chiefs is actually like really interesting. I
No,
didn't think
it's
he's going to
it's
go
the perfect spot. Like I didn't have
as
him ranked that
perfect.
high, but the spot couldn't be more perfect.
Like it's actually perfect. I know they got Hollywood this offseason, and I know they have Rashi Rice.
Hmm.
He's going to be out for, I'm thinking, at least 6 games.
Yeah.
And by the time he gets back, I think Xavier Worthy is going to already have his own spot. And they traded up for him.
Hmm.
Like they went like you know how deep this class is with the receivers, and they
Yeah,
traded
they
up.
went and got him. Yeah.
And Mahomes outright said like he wants Worthy. He's been practicing with him in the offseason. This is not like a Sky Moore situation where you're taking someone way too early because of their landing spot, like
No.
Steve did. So I hope Dom. I mean, Dom can think that I'm throwing smoke all he wants, but like I'm genuinely saying, I don't think he'd be making the same mistake as his brother if he took him at the 105. I
No.
don't like people are like, "Oh, he's just fast." Like I mean, look at like what being fast does for players on the Chiefs. Like he's gonna fit right in. Like they went up and they traded up for him. Like it's big. I
Yeah.
think he can take Worthy and figure out the running back situation somewhere else. I don't know. That's just me.
All right. With the time left on here, we might only
We're gonna
get
have to extend it. Just start. I'll start a new meeting.
okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just better because we can't rush through this.
No, I don't want to rush through it.
All right. So at the 106, what do you think I'm doing?
I would think you're crazy. I would love it if you don't do this because then I'll do it at the 107, honestly. And you take, I mean, actually, day two had a lot of great spots, so I'm not going to say that I'll do it if you don't. I won't say that. But Caleb Williams, I feel like, especially for your team, like the situation is crazy. Like that offense is the best I've ever seen a rookie quarterback come into. And especially on top of that, it's not just like he's just like some random quarterback, like top prospect we've seen apparently since like Andrew Luck coming into the league. Like
He definitely
weapons, like,
is, and social media is so stupid how they try to downplay it.
yeah. I
I just
mean,
saw Bleacher Report have Drake May ranked over him.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
like,
people
what are
just try
we
to get
doing?
clicks.
He's like the biggest prospect, like you said, since Luck.
Yeah, people are gonna try to get clicks, and I'm excited for him to prove them wrong. Like it's just gonna be
Him too.
like
I'm so
it's
tired of
gonna
the hate this guy's getting. Like, I just want him to shut up everyone.
and not even just that, like just the offense. The Bears defense started looking like really good towards the end of last season.
Hmm.
Um, and like he's coming into like such a great situation,
Yeah,
and like he went out and I told you this because I'm excited because I'm gonna take Rome, but
yeah,
like he like the whole thing when they were on the same flight and everything, like he planned that.
yeah.
He's telling the Bears that he wants Rome
Hmm.
and like that's his guy. And like they're tied together. They're boys. Like they're hanging out now.
Yeah.
Like I know there was like the whole like joke about like, oh, Cooper Cup always like had breakfast with like Stafford and like that's why like he became his guy. Like Roman Caleb are
Or
boys.
like this. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the one there, but like that's like right now that's like his third option. And like
I'm not gonna
he's
lie.
that's been one.
I don't think Rome's a third option. I think he's at least a
Okay.
two. He's.
Yeah, I think so too, but I don't want to cause controversy. We'll talk about it another time.
I
But
mean,
he's got
he's
he's
better
got
than DJ Moore. And he might be better than Keenan Allen right now, man. Rome
but
is
that's
like
what I'm
that.
saying.
Rome is like that.
That's what I'm saying. If you look at those three receivers and then you look at the backfield, and I'm not even just glazing Swift like I usually do,
No,
but you
no.
got I
Swift,
think
Swift and Johnson are going to be a nice one too.
and Herbert's their
Oh yeah,
three.
Herbert's still there. Yeah,
And you've got Cole Kmet. Like Caleb is gonna be great.
yeah.
There's no denying it,
Cole
especially
Komet was
with your
cooking
team.
last
Like
year.
Two is not bad, but I definitely like feel much more comfortable taking Caleb there. And you have Watson, but like it's Caleb. Like I think it's pretty
Yeah.
obvious. I don't know. You can throw your
I have
smoker to
in
what
this mock, I'd have myself taking Caleb there.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just don't see why not.
All right, so next pick, we're back to you.
Back to me.
The 107.
We have 2 minutes left. Do we want to start talking about this?
Should we just put it into the next one?
We can transfer it, yeah. Like we
Okay.
can just I'm saying like I'll start the meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Send me the link.